Hello, welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dan, and welcome back to Dirty Dirt Garage. DDG, as I like to call it. We got another video for you guys today, and I'm dropping. This video is going to correlate with the next video. So, if you want to see the correlation between this subject topic, which you know by the title of the video, and that's why you clicked on this. We're going to compare non-union to union. So this one is going to be about non-union. So if you want to see the second verse on this, the second video of union, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and leave a comment on both videos, non-union and the union video. They'll be dropping back-to-back, not back-to-back same day, but they'll be dropping in the playlist. They'll be right next to each other. So anyways, let's get right into it. So again, first time to the channel, welcome to the channel. This is a construction channel. This is a blue collar educational channel. And this is a ride along. We got a lot of those videos. And then I do this basically long form videos like this one you clicked on in a series of blue collar work. Should I get into blue collar work? And this will correlate with that series, that playlist I put together. So this one is going to be about non-union worker compared to a union worker. And we're not talking about union on this video. That'll be the next one. We're going to talk about non-union, getting into this industry as a non-union worker. Let's get right into it. So 99, maybe not 99, but 90% of workers that are getting into this field are going to be non-union workers, especially when you're young, just getting out of school, trying to figure out your way in life and figure out what you want to do. You are not going to go to a union job. Like at 10% of those people that know what they want to do might go union. Nothing wrong with going non-union. Listen to me. I've worked more non-union than union in my life in this career of running heavy equipment. As you know, if you follow this channel, that's what I do. And I had a lot of experience. I gained a lot of experience working non-union as a young man. And that actually gave me a leg up getting into the union, believe it or not. But non-union workers, as far as I'm concerned, are well-rounded workers, because what happens in a non-union environment, especially with doing construction, is you become a Swiss Army knife, if that's the way I can say it. So when you're in a company that's willing to show you how to work and have different scopes of work, now the company that's willing to show you that, there'll be a lot of, especially with construction companies, utility companies, or site companies, site work companies like that, for like laborers and operators. I can't speak on all trades, but I'll just kind of touch base on most. That you'll be able to learn a lot of different things at one location, which is key to developing skills for long-term success, as far as I'm concerned. So, like, you know, you can start off as a laborer in the hole, you know, spreading out stone or putting pipe together, learning from another crew, being a top guy, just being a lumpa. You know what I mean? That's what we call it back in the day. Just a guy that just a catch-all guy that can do just a little bit about everything. So you will learn a lot of different aspects of certain jobs working for a privatized non-union company, which is key for long-term success if you want to do this and make this a career as a blue-collar tradesman. So you will start off most likely getting into this trade as a non-union worker. Some benefits. We'll talk about pros and cons here as this video progresses. So benefits to working for a small outfit, mom and pop. Personalization is big time. You're not just a number. You can make longevity out of a company like that with the mom and pop, especially if you know the business owner. That can go for a union as well, but not as adamant as working non-union privatized. So small companies, you're not just a number. You're actually somebody. They invest more time in you if you're willing to work hard and put in the effort. You can progress in a smaller company, maybe slightly faster than most. You might have more opportunity to grow in a non-union aspect, whether you're young and you want to get your CDL and drive a truck, and you know, different aspects if you want to be a mechanic and work in a garage and stuff like that. So there is a lot of aspects in growth with a non-union company if you're willing to put the effort in. So that is one a positive. There's for that matter. What else is there? Some positives. You could potentially get a company truck. Most non-union companies, if you're a foreman, And there is some aspects of that in union as well, obviously. There is foremans and superintendents that get vehicles for union and non-union, but the majority is speaking for non-union privatized company. I've seen even just hand laborers get trucks, which helps out. So if the foreman's not on the job site, you'll have a truck there with tools, so you can get the job done, or at least get it started. Set up a laser, get your GPS coordinates pointed up, and you'll have hand tools and maybe like a tamper or some fuel, or just basic necessities for getting the job started. And the foreman might have a little bit more important stuff, or they might not have anything at all. They might have their separate truck with the computer and the plans and the prints, maybe the GPS coordinates for the plans, but you might have all the working tools as a foreman or even a lead guy. Union's a little different. You got to be up there in the food chain to get those things. We'll talk about that in another video. So that's another non-union benefit. Christmas bonuses. That is a huge thing with non-union working, especially a guy in a seat like mine. Not so much foreman. I'm not going to talk about that at that moment, but there is aspects of you become a foreman, you may get performance and bonuses or safety bonuses or Christmas bonuses. But just as a working schlum like myself and most of you watching this video, that is a perk of working non-union. There's a good chance that your company will give you a Christmas bonus, Thanksgiving gift certificate to go buy yourself a turkey for you and the family. There is a lot of benefits for working non-union because it's a smaller outfit. You're talking 30 to less guys, so 30 and under. You get taken care of a little bit better. You might get Carhartt sweatshirts. There's bennies like that. When you get to a different atmosphere like union, we'll talk about that in another video, but there's different aspects. That's a perk. I'll touch on a few negative ones. Non-union. So when it comes to starting out non-union and your very first beginning of work in construction, not knowing anything, you are going to get paid the least amount of money for that position that you're applying for. Unlike somebody with some experience, job hopping non-union, trying to chase $1 or a $2 raise here or a dollar raise there. When you first start out as a young man or female getting into this industry, you are going to be paid the lowest on the totem pole, and that is something that you have to be okay with. Going to union, we'll talk about that in the future. Totally different ball of wax. So non-union, beginning out in this industry, you're going to get paid the less. You get a guy like me hopping around, jumping jobs, and have this experience and experience and that. I'm going to get paid more non-union than you would be coming in, and that's just normal. That's normal, really, across the board for any type of work in reality. So that's something you have to be aware of. But if you're willing to put the work in, you will progress through the ladder and get your way up through the company and get more benefits and get more licenses and all that other stuff. So that is a negative aspect of starting off non-union as a first-time person. What else? There's another not negative, but it's a fact. If the company's struggling, you're going to feel that. Okay. So when I say that, I mean, if the company is having a bad year, you might not get your Christmas bonus. You might not have your Christmas party. You might not get that cool half zip, quarter zip Carhartt hoodie. You might not get that if the company is not not having a fulfillment year. You will feel the effects of that. That's just how it goes. Again, we'll touch base on union. That's not such a thing in union. There's different aspects of how that happens. So if the company is not doing good, you're going to feel that as a worker. So there's two aspects of, and that goes into two, like if you go talk about getting a raise, there's different things like, if the company's not doing well, you'll feel that. And like every year you're looking for that bump in pay, or maybe every 5 years you're looking for like just a cost of living raise, whether it's $1 an hour or something like that. There's some negative aspects of that too, because that's not always guaranteed. Again, a video coming up, so subscribe and hit the bell so you can see that next one for the union side of things. But that non-union, yeah, there is something to say about going into the office, talking out about a performance and where you are, and where do you see yourself in 5 years. That's a condescending comment, remarks to a worker who has no idea what the future holds. I do not like that interview process where they ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know, hopefully alive. Like, what are you talking about? If a company is telling you that, that means they know there's room for growth or improvement on yourself, and I think they're trying to gauge where you are, if you're just going to be here for a year or you see yourself long term. That's all based on company. So I think that should, I don't even know if that happens anymore, but I haven't done an interview like that in over a decade. But 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago, that's how it was. I don't know if they say that anymore. But anyways, that's kind of a negative aspect of non-union stuff. You don't say that. You know, again, I got way more to talk about on the next video too with that, because I've kind of been out of the non-union world for a while, but I do remember a lot. One more thing we'll touch on before we wrap it up, and I'll leave on a positive note, but this is one more. We'll chalk it up as we did 3 good and 3 kind of negative, and we'll leave on a positive note. I'm not going to totally trash and make this a up and down thing, but the one thing that I find with the non-union characteristics is with construction is you reach a cap. There is a level where you reach at a company where they cannot pay you any more than what they already pay you, and that's it. I'm not calling it flat rate. I'm not calling it, priced out. Maybe you could call it that, but I call it a cap. There is a cap for certain companies that have a certain amount of employees that cannot go above that. Whether it's paying insurance, or some companies don't offer insurance. Maybe there's more negatives than I thought with non-union. I'm not trying to bash non-union. I have cut my teeth on non-union privatized companies, the mom and pop, and I have no problem with them. I know owners. I know people that they're good people, and it's just, it's hard to compete with other places that offer more benefits. It's hard for them to compete, and it really is. I know the pay scale has gone tremendously up for non-union just to keep the good guys so they don't bounce around to chase that dollar bill, because guys will bounce around to chase a dollar. That's a fact. Even if if they're slightly unhappy, they will make a jump for a dollar. It's nuts. I understand, but that's how it works. So I know a lot of companies have been helping and paying out their employees, but they might cap you, and that's just the way it goes. Whether they're paying insurance, maybe they have a 401k, maybe they don't. Maybe a lot of companies don't even offer health insurance, let alone retirement. So that could be another negative aspect of non-union. But to end this video on a positive note about non-union, if it wasn't for the non-working business owners, the non-union, not working, non-union business owners that have started small businesses, we wouldn't have no means of having union work, because the small companies that are started off with a truck, an excavator, and a trailer have all grown to the simple fact that they can go to the union and hire union wages to get bidded on jobs for union bond jobs, and to come, there's a whole other spectrum of that. But if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have that. So I tip my hat off to any business owner that's looking out there to try to get going and to try to keep their business thriving. Non-union is essential to have out there to keep the world moving, and you learn a lot when you're at a company, a privatized company, that you can grow and be part of a team and be part of a family. There's a lot of good companies out there that'll work that way for you, and a lot of people enjoy that. So to leave this video on a positive note, non-union is essential out there to keep this country moving blue collar, as far as I'm concerned, no matter what. You can always jump around and go different companies and chase that dollar, or sink your teeth in and stay there and progress and grow and do the ups and downs with the companies. And I commend people that do that 100%. So non-union privatized work, it's where to start, and you can retire from it too. Don't let anyone tell you that. So I'll leave that on a positive note, because I've done my fair share and my hours putting in on non-union work. I got no complaints. I still talk to people that own their own businesses, and they're great human beings. Great human beings. So to wrap this up, to conclude this, so this is some pros and cons of getting into non-union privatized companies in the blue collar trade. We will do a versus, I guess, non-union, union. Till next time, guys, subscribe, notifications bell, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's, pretty sure I missed a lot of things, just covering a very, very baseline of this topic. Please drop the comments down below. I will read them. We can always drop on a live. That's what I do here. I always post a video. I let it marinate, and we do a live stream. So I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you guys on the next live. Hit the notifications bell, and I'll see you then. Stay dirty.